but you get the impression she was certainly much more capable than Gorko. And so you would imagine that the Order of the Golden Mongoose would have entrusted her with business interests in their absence and stuff like that. So um, in your conversations with her, you know she's lost her job. So she's looking for work, and is a little down on her luck right now. So, but I mean, it's not like anything you can do for her right at the moment. But unless you have something you can do for her, and she's not asking for charity or anything like that. You know, I just mentioned her because she's just somebody I didn't want you to forget about. So as you're having breakfast on that morning, uh, shit, I got to get back to where I was. As you're having breakfast on that morning, crap. Hold on. I didn't have myself open to the right place. You see coming through the door somebody that you don't recognize. It's a new face, and it is a. Oh, hold on. I want to make sure that I'm accurate, so I'll tell you for sure. So, I can't remember if he was a human or a half elf. You see uh, a human that I actually have a picture. You see this guy walk through the door. Oh, wait. And then you see this guy walk through the door. He's not swinging from a chandelier yet.
Not yet.
Right, but he's kind of despite what the picture says, he's kind of a good-looking, red-haired, fiery, smiling kind of guy. He walks in. He's got a couple of he's got like a backpack and like a rucksack, kind of thing that he's carrying with him. And he walks to the bar. And he speaks to the bartender in a kind of a hushed tone. He puts down his bags, and you can't really overhear what they're saying, but you can see. I mean, he just looks like somebody who's making arrangement for a place to stay. And they talk for a moment more, and the innkeeper points over to your table, and you can overhear him say something like, "Oh yeah, they're right over there," right? Um, and so he turns and looks at you and kind of gives you a, a half wave and like I'll be right there with you. Hold on just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Um, and he starts to pick up his stuff and head your way. So
Okay.
okay, so as long as nobody's gonna shove a knife in him or anything like that. Uh, he will here, I'll even randomly determine who it is that he sees the glad hands first. That will be Gwyneth. You're the first one that he happens to get to and shakes your hand and says, "Hi, you must be Gwyneth. Um, I'm with Acquisitions Incorporated. Omen sent me. I'm Viari.
You're who? I'm sorry. What was your name?
Viari, Viari, and I can reveal.
Very nice to meet you. So
Yeah.
you can't. Omen sent you.
Yeah, he got your message. He said that it sounds like some bad stuff happened with the Order of the Golden Mongoose.
Some bad stuff?
Yeah. So have a seat. Join us.
Sure. And he like sets down these packs that are weighing him down, and sits down and he actually reaches into his backpack and pulls out what looks like a leather bound folio, right? And just sets it on the table in front of him. And so, yeah, he says, and forgive me, I'm trying to remember the letter that Naird sent, but it wasn't all that specific. I would think, right? And I think he
Do
says,
you need it again? Because I could say I could,
that's
I do have
okay.
it.
She has
Yeah,
a copy, I'm so sure.
shocker. Yeah, shocker that you have that. No, I mean, I think it's safe to say it wasn't very specific, right? And he says, so tell me, what's going on? I saw the manor house up on the hill. It doesn't look good.
What doesn't look good?
Hello?
The
Jim?
manor house.
Oh, you froze for a second,
You
Jim.
lost me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you froze.
Did I freeze
Oh.
too?
The manor
Hey,
house.
come
what?
on now. This is. Yeah, he said he saw the manor house up on the hill. It doesn't look good up there. What happened?
Well, Severo, why don't you why don't you give your angle on the story? It's always so interesting.
Oh shoot! Was it a weasel? There was a wereweasel.
Is
A
Severo
wereweasel.
interesting?
Didn't have thumbs, and then did.
Yeah, Viari's looking at Severo, and yeah, he's trying to be cordial.
Oh, and the giant TP. That was another big part.
Right, giant teepee, right, yeah. Um, so,
I could not hear anything Ryan said.
Now they can't hear me.
well, that's all right. But he was just saying general Severo nonsense anyway.
Oh.
Oh, that was the small
Soldier
stone
man.
dragon we ran into.
Yeah, he said something about thumbs and teepees and a little dragon person. Yeah.
And then the shadow wrestlers. Those guys were fun.
Right, Shadow. Right. So he looks over at Naird, who is appears to be just as wizened as Severo, but he's hoping for maybe a little more. And he says, what can you tell me?
Then you could ask Naird.
Well, I'm trying to. I mean, what do you want to know?
Well,
I mean,
it wasn't very clear what happened to the Order of the Golden Mongoose. I'd like to report back to Omen, but my performance evaluation is coming up, and I'd really like to be able to tell him as much information as I could about what happened to the members of the
Hey,
order.
didn't we see what's her name? The major domo? Wasn't she just in here? Would be interesting to get her, pull her into this conversation. Maybe we can
Hey, we can magically make her eating breakfast, 3 tables over if you want.
yeah, I thought I saw her.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we
Yeah.
all as far we don't know who did it. We just know they were taken out.
right. So taken out. So what did you find when you got there? I mean,
mess.
a mess.
Yeah,
well,
they didn't survive it. They didn't have a
All the
chance.
corpses and undead stuff and
Wow, yeah, it's definitely.
nothing left of the manor. It's all the only thing that was left was all this underground stuff that we found, and it was just a big mess and like ruins and portals and wow.
Yeah, he says that. Yeah, that sounds very inky. Yeah. He says. So you said the major domo survived the attack?
She seemed to, yes.
Oh, and that's her right over there.
Uh-huh.
Great. Let's get her involved. So, one of you, it doesn't matter. Get her attention and bring her over to the table, right? And she has never met Viari before, but they introduced themselves to each other, and he
What's her
asked, Gilda Dune, Duhn, I think.
So Severo will say to Gilda when we all walk up, I don't know what else he wants. I told him everything that happened.
She'll look at Viari and she'll say, "Well, I'm not sure what he could have told you because he wasn't there when it happened." Um, but she goes on to tell him what little she actually knows, which is that it was the manor was attacked by some a force of some size, and it did include an ogre, which I think you guys were aware that the ogre that you talked to was involved in the attack, and that they were overrun, and she very early on in the fight was the building collapsed and she was pinned under it, but um, but before that happened, she saw one of the members of the Order of the Golden Mongoose use this device that she had. Her name was Talantha Three Coins, and she used this device to teleport away. And I had seen them use the device to teleport away before, so it wasn't a big shocker to me to see it, but it was a little bit surprising that when Talantha teleported away, the device was left behind and it just fell to the ground out of her hands after she teleported away. So I secreted the device away in my drooly, gaping mouth, and hid, and then it was then that I was pinned under all this rubble. And so what happened after that, I don't really know, but yeah, it was pandemonium and dogs and cats living together and everything.
Right.
And Viari seems to be, yeah, you can kind of just tell from the look on his face is like, yep, that's pretty typical of an ACK Inc. operation. Something like that's bound to happen, Yeah, but he thanks Gilda for her story, and it is up to well, Viari he'll turn back to the rest of you, and he says, "Well, I suppose we should get down to business, and it's up to you guys to either include allow Gilda to stay with you at the table during this business, or you could just kind of, could you excuse us, kind of thing. It's up to you. What would you like to do?" No, you brought her to your table.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would excuse her for the moment.
Okay, and she wouldn't be offended at that or anything, so that's fine. So she goes back to her breakfast at her table, and Viari turns to the rest of you and says, he says, I don't know how you guys did it, but you guys have made an impression on Omen, and just your ability to take care of the nasty business that was going on under the city of Waterdeep, and to come here and so thoroughly investigate what happened to the Order of the Golden Mongoose. He was impressed enough that he sent me here with the authorization to offer you guys a franchise in Acquisitions Incorporated. And he actually kind of rolls his eyes a little bit at this. You could tell he's not exactly tickled about it, but he's doing what he was told to do.
Oh, that's very nice. I'd like to see the offer. Do you have it?
Oh, absolutely. And he has this folio sitting in front of him, right? He pulls it open, and there's a quill pen inside there, and he pulls out some ink, a bottle of ink from a pocket or a pouch, and sets it on the table. But
Hold on. Is it ACK Inc?
Oh, it says Acquisitions Incorporated, but he says ACK Inc. Yeah.
No, he was making a pun about the ink in the quill.
Oh, sorry.
Is it ACK Inc? That was very funny, Elijah.
Yeah, it was. But Viari looks at you, Ronan, and he says, "Sorry, I'm all out of ACK Inc."
busts a gun. He chokes on his beer.
His morning beer. So yeah, he opens up the folio. He's got
You said the same thing twice.
he's got his quill pen. He's got his bottle of ink, and he just kind of pushes the folio to the center of the table for anyone to take a look at. It's a document with all kinds of writing on it.
Okay.
A lot of the writing is very small.
I would assume that the group would expect me to grab it.
Absolutely.
So I take it and I start not even talking, just diving through it.
Okay.
Did Vela notice how he acted when he offered the position?
Yeah, it wasn't hidden. Yeah, there was nothing hidden there. Yeah.
Vela will crawl up, like, until she's like sitting in front of him on the table.
Okay.
What is wrong?
so
I can roll persuasion if you want.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Roll persuasion. Yeah, but and when you do that, he kind of gets that whole "you're totally in my space" thing going on, and backs off a little bit. He goes, but he knows that he's given away his feelings a little more than he probably should have, and he says, "Well, I'm a little miffed. I'll be honest with you. I was an unpaid intern for 11 years, and I just recently became a paid intern. You guys are gonna get dental and vision and your own franchise, and I have been
Son. There's some lessons in life that you need to learn. That you can't let people just take advantage of you, and if you don't hold yourself in, if you don't believe in yourself, why would they believe in you? You must empower yourself.
I do everything I can so that he doesn't look like an ass. And sometimes I fall short. So give me Nard, give me just an investigation check in the town.
Okay. Investigation. Why do they have to make it so tiny? There we
go. Okay. So it is a lot of. It is a contract, of course.
Right. Yeah, because I'm you know me, I'm pouring through it.
Right.
Looking for loopholes.
And you got so
while Naird is going through this contract, Gwyneth gets up and slides over to the bar and orders a breakfast stout.
A breakfast stout.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Again, I don't know why you said the same thing twice.
Yeah, you have no problem getting a breakfast stout. But regarding this document that has been placed before you, so you can imagine that you like pick it up and it unfolds 8 times from the folio, right?
Right.
And there's stuff in the margins and just crammed in there, and I'll read you the description of this document that they gave me. Let's see. Okay. Crammed full of legalese and double talk.
Yes. What I deal with every day.
but the salient points you are able to pick up. So you do know that franchisees, which would be you, would pay a monthly fee to Acquisitions Incorporated to maintain your franchise.
Right.
As part of that fee, Acquisitions Incorporated handles parts of the franchise's operations, including procurement, staff management, and other benefits. Right? The monthly fee paid to Acquisitions Incorporated by a starter franchise, which would be you, covers the salaries of a major domo, a skilled hireling, and 2 untrained hirelings. Franchisees must pay any hirelings employed beyond this number.
So is that
The
something
fran-
that you could put in the thing for me to digest? Is that something you can copy into the?
I could probably make a note, and
Okay.
you will have it. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the franchise is licensed to operate in Fandolin and within 5 miles of the town. It is protected against interference in that area from
Wait.
other franchises.
Fandolin.
What happened to our? Wait, then we can't use our Troll Skull Manor.
Well, you still own Troll Skull Manor, but we discussed a long time ago that Omen Drawn was never going to allow you to have a franchise in Waterdeep because that's his territory.
Oh.
Yeah. So you are able to operate in Fandolin and within 5 miles of Fandolin, and Acquisitions Incorporated will deal with acquiring the rights to Tresender Manor from Harbin Wester, who you never found out was the actual owner of Tresender Manor, as they did for the Fellowship of the Golden Mongoose. So,
But there's nothing left of Tresender Manor. Why would we want it?
well, it also includes in the document that it will be brought up to at least a tenement level habitability over the course of the next couple of months.
At what cost to us?
At no cost to you.
Hire my builder for the
But-
house on the mountain.
And by whose standards?
By corporate standards.
Huh. Okay.
Now you ask us a completely logical question. What about Troll Skull Manor? There is nothing that says you need to be here in Fandolin, that you can go back to Troll Skull Manor anytime you want. Severo and Nard can go back to Troll Skull Manor if they want, and the rest of you stay here and maintain operations of your business. I mean, it's
Okay.
completely up to
What
you
I
you
what
wanna
I
do.
what I would like to do, I would like to talk to my team a little bit without. I would like to. Viari, will you excuse us for a moment?
Oh, absolutely. I understand that you upper level business people, need to have private discussions every now and then.
Yes. Okay.
Gwyneth-
I'm glad you
Gwyneth
understand
tells
that.
him to- Gwyneth tells him to go ask the bartender for a breakfast stout on her.
Okay. Ask the bartender for a breakfast stout on her. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so he knows and does that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm talking to the team here, and okay, you guys, this document is, oh my gosh, it's just legalese and double talk. I mean, I really need some more time to digest it. I suggest that we tell them that we will come back and meet with Omen Drawn in person, in case we have any questions, and go check on our on Troll Skull Manor. And then
So while you're doing this, Ronan, you notice that Viari, while he did go get a breakfast stout from the bar, you can tell actually pretty plainly that he has worked his way within earshot of your table and is doing his best to eavesdrop on this conversation.
Oh, and I don't notice that, so okay.
No, Ronan noticed. Yeah.
Ronan is gonna get up and quote unquote go to the bathroom.
Right.
He's gonna accidentally bump into the ark and then knock his feet on the floor.
Okay, give me an athletics check contested by his athletics check.
Okay.
He would have advantage because he's going to come up behind him to do it, right?
Sure, go ahead, have the advantage.
With advantage? Alright,
Yeah,
hold on.
just with advantage. Go ahead.
Dang, alright. I'll just roll right here since.
So, you had no idea that Viari was so doggone athletic. He probably heard your clanking armor or footsteps coming behind him and dodged your lunge. So you didn't have any effect on him as far as knocking him down, but you did make the point that, hey, asshole, this is a private conversation, and he looks you in the eye and he kind of like, yeah, all right, I got it, it's cool, and he backs off. Yeah.
Good job. Yeah, I tried to distract him with Stout, but I didn't work.
He rolled a 24 on his athletics, so.
Holy
Ooh,
cow!
wow.
I was like,
Well, we did meet him swinging from a chandelier, apparently.
That's acrobatics. He's even better at that. All right,
so Nerd, what do you really feel like? I mean, if this is standard AC stuff and we ever want to do this, maybe we should just take it at face value and run with it.
One should never do that with a contract, honey. If he obviously wants us, so there might be a couple items we need to strike or
Okay,
add,
all right,
and so
gotcha, gotcha.
even if they're small, we got to show.
negotiate.
We have to at least show that we are capable of things like that, and we're not going to be taken advantage of. We don't want him to think that anyone can just take advantage of us.
I think Ryan already showed that.
In a very nice sort of way, though.
And we can, and we can check on the construction progress.
Gorko!
And Gorko.
Yeah, we can check and see if Gorko's burnt Trollskull Manor.
Yeah, I've been a little nervous. I'd really like to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And we don't have anything else to do. It's going to take it's going to take a little while to get this facility up to par before we can even work out of it. So.
Well, we can't have that start until we've signed the contract. So.
Right. Well, how long does it take to travel back, Jim?
Oh, I will tell you. Hold on just a moment. Hold on.
He's checking the map.
Coke Zero or Coke? Just regular old Coke. I haven't had any in a while.
Holy cow.
What?
It's longer than I thought it was.
It was several days.
Yeah, whatever timeline we've discussed already, the trip from Waterdeep to Phandalin is 14 days. So.
Yeah, we're not running back and forth.
Well, this might be our last chance for a while. I'm thinking.
How did our message get to Omen and someone actually come back to?
I think that he's revising that. That's what he's saying.
Who's revising what?
You. How long this is? We've been here because we've already delivered a message and have had a response.
Yeah.
It's a month. It's been like a month.
Yeah, it's been like a month. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I say it's more like. Excuse me. I say it's more like whenever you give a letter to the president, like you get it back a lot sooner than he got it.
Well,
Well, it's gonna be
but we sent it. We sent it with Gorko, so that couldn't have been any quicker. But coming back could have been expedited.
That's true.
Gorko is a powerful wizard. He might have teleported back to Waterdeep.
Yeah, that's true too.
Of course, Gorgo was the one with the false one.
I figured that this may be our last chance for a while to check on our place, and while they're doing construction, we're not, we're we have no place to live, and I'm really not digging living up here in the inn. I don't know about you.
Yeah, who wants to spend hotel money?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Why
right.
should we pay rent when we
Well, we can sleep on the road. Yay.
Yes, but we can relax under the stars.
So is Viari gonna have to travel back with us?
Oh
Ugh.
God, no, absolutely not. Unless, wait a
Listen
minute.
to him till I heard him talk.
You know what? We might be able to get some intel from Viari because he does hold a resentment. So maybe we can kind of play him, offer him.
After
Vela will actually step up and just, why don't you join our franchise?
Oh, to Viari?
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be interesting.
He says, um, so when you approach him, so you guys have been having this private conversation, and Bela breaks away and approaches Viari and says, "Well, why don't you join our franchise?" And he says, he kind of smiles and giggles at that a little bit, and he says, "Oh, there are times when I wish I could just go back to a starter franchise, but now I'm what Omen calls an essential cog in the gears that operate the main headquarters of
And I'm not
Acquisitions
hearing this,
Incorporated."
or am I?
Well, I guess Vela would probably be the only one that hears
Okay,
this.
okay.
Right? Yeah. So, but he says, he is making a leap of logic from your statement to him, right? Your request of him, and he says, "But I'm glad to see that you've decided to come on board. We should get to signing documents and handing out the gear, and I've got places to be. Let's go, right?"
So Vela will actually flap her little wings so she gets
Here's a
eye to eye
reminder.
level
COVID vaccine.
with Mr.
Here's a
V.
reminder. COVID vaccine.
Don't forget your COVID vaccine.
It's
Yeah,
tomorrow.
So she'll flap her little wings so she's eye to eye on
Aw.
what
Yeah,
do
so he
you
kind of
want.
staggers back a little bit,
Well, she puts her hand on his shoulder. What
Yeah.
do you want really?
Are you Lucifer? What do you desire? So
She means it genuinely. Like,
right.
what do you want?
Right. Well, give me a persuasion with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yeah, because he has motivations that are hard to break. So
You said persuasion.
persuasion with disadvantage. Yeah. He wow, the disadvantage really didn't matter. You rolled a 2 and a 3 on the die. He says he kind of stiffens up, and he says I really just want to do my job. I've got to get to like 2 other towns within the 10-day, or my performance evaluation is really going to suffer. So could we just move this along?
Vela will actually look very genuinely sad.
Mm.
And
he goes, yeah, I know the feeling.
she'll offer and say, well, if you ever change your minds.
I will keep that in mind, but I'm told I've got a good gig going.
She'll flutter away.
Okay, so he follows her back to the table, and I mean he's under the impression just from this conversation that you guys have kind of moved this along and we're ready to go. Let's do this thing. So that doesn't mean you are. That just means that's the impression he's coming back to the table with. So he he just like he picks up his folio and the quill pen and he dips it in the ink and he goes, okay, are we ready to go? Or have you guys picked your positions? What you know? What
Yeah,
you're
we
gonna do?
actually you are correct. We are ready to go. We're ready to head back to Waterdeep.
Really?
Yes, in the morning.
But 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 I've got the document right here,
Thank you. Yes, I will need that
and I
document. Thank you. And I grabbed
and
the document.
I've got all your franchise gear in these big bags that I carried all the way
Oh no, that's fine.
here.
We can leave those up at the Troll Skull. I mean at the manor. Just
Troll Skull Manor
no,
at Tresender Manor.
Tresender Manor.
Oh, yeah, yeah, but that's not our property yet.
Wait a minute, it's not our property yet.
Well, no, we're gonna We were in negotiations to acquire it, and we're gonna continue these negotiations.
Okay. So we can't sign any agreement until you've finished that negotiation.
So from what I told you earlier about what the document said, right? It said that AC Inc. will deal with acquiring the rights to Tresender Manor from Harbin Western. Right. So they were in the middle of that when the manor blew up, and they are going to continue that effort uh, on your behalf for you, right? So that you don't have to do it.
So they're not actually guaranteeing they'll do anything. They're just going to continue in efforts. We may have nothing. I'm not signing documents based on that. I'm sorry. No, that's a big cost right there.
Because it would be livable.
Yes.
It will constitute at least having shelter from the weather, whether it's a roof. So at least the foundation's gonna have to be done.
Right, and when he hears you say that, when Viari hears you say that, he said, yeah, most of it would be covered from a lot of the weather, right? Yes.
Yes. Well, you know what? Our Trollskull Manor is 100% covered. So we can wait there while you finish this.
So Viari, he says, well, okay, I can see
What
that.
we understand is that he doesn't know Harbin Wester, and we sort of kind of do, and we're not sure that our relationship with him would help our chances of AC Inc. getting that property.
Right.
So we might have to finesse that relationship just a bit, and it might work better if we're not around for a few days. So,
and if I may, not that it is my place to do so, but one thing you could mention to Omen personally is that, gee, we'd really like to come on board, but Trisandra Manor is a shithole. Maybe there is another location, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So, but
well, yeah, I was gonna add a contingency amendment to this contract.
Right. But that's a conversation for further down the line. And Viari just kind of sighs and closes his folio, puts his ink bottle away. He goes, well, I guess there goes my performance evaluation, and he says, I'll just take all this gear back, and you can deal with. I mean, not everybody gets an opportunity like this, but if you guys don't want it,
and so I what I do is I ask Vela if can you go over there and inventory the gear?
Wait, what was that?
Inventory. Can you go over and inventory that gear so we know we get what we were promised?
Well, he's not giving you any gear.
No, but that was part of the deal. He brought our gear, so we want to make sure that none of it gets lost in the
reappropriated to a different franchise.
Well, yeah, but you haven't signed for it. You're not responsible for it.
I know we're not.
No.
I want to make sure that we're not gypped off of what we were going to get.
Vela has ways of inventorying without it being real obvious.
Yeah,
sure.
she looks like she's.
About that right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so as I mentioned before, I see your die roll there, Vela, but we're gonna have to figure out what we're applying that to because he had a backpack. The backpack was closed, except he opened it to get the folio out, right? But it looked like a pretty full backpack. And then he had another rucksack with him that just looked like there's bulges and stuff sticking out of the side of it, and it's cinched up at the top.
Gwen,
It
can
doesn't
you
have like a lock
Gwen,
or anything.
Gwen, can you just go get him drinking for a little bit?
I tried. He only drank half the breakfast stout that
Well,
I told him to get.
put your charms on.
So you have laying in front of you, Bailey. You have he's not like guarding it or anything, so it's not like he is being especially watchful. But you have two bags that are essentially closed with maybe a cinch tie of some sort or whatever. And what do you want to apply that roll that you just made to?
Can she? You know what? She'll try to put her nose into one to see if she can smell what the materials are.
I like it.
If it makes her sneeze, make sure she rolls for Constitution.
you don't have like the keen smell thing, right? Being a kobold, that'd be like a wolf or something. Um, okay? So you smell. Wow, what would you smell? You smell what might be like an oil of some sort. You smell probably you smell like the wax of candles, and you smell dirty laundry.
Ew.
Well, you would. So, I mean, I don't know if that really tells you anything, but that's the smells that you get off of there. And as your snout is like probing around the gear, Viari just kind of takes like a little backhanded swipe at you, like you were a kid. Get off of that, kid. Yeah.
She will arch her back and hiss.
Well, draw his hand back and look for tooth marks, but yeah.
So
But does he still have thumbs?
Yeah, he still has that. Oh, by the way, he has both of his thumbs. Yes.
So
Yeah.
I kind of under my breath whisper to Vela, didn't work, did it?
No.
Okay, all right. I'll try plan B. So Viari, you said that the adventuring equipment that you were bringing was very heavy and whatnot. What exactly did you bring?
I brought the gear for your positions. If you were to accept the offer and take corporate positions, I have the gear for that.
So, and you won't release the gear until the contract's signed.
You're not employees.
So, do you know the value of this gear?
It really is relatively value. The only value that it has is that which is assigned to it by Acquisitions Incorporated.
Right. I mean, do you know it? Like if adventuring gear for the Documancer, do you know what it is?
I'm sorry. What was the question, Severo?
Is it listed in the contract?
Oh! I started switching through.
There you can see reference to that you would get gear based on the position that you take, and it probably has the gear listed for the position on it, right? But you can see that it's kind of like I said, it just like all of us at work, we could steal something from work, but it only really has value for those that
Okay,
are
so
at work, right?
what I was
Yeah.
thinking about doing was telling Viari, I feel for your situation, and maybe maybe this would make you look better. Um, if you came up with a great plan to negotiate with us, um, regarding the equipment, if we sit down and pick out what positions we would like, um, and we can sign a document saying that we received said equipment, and that if we did not um, complete our contract with Acquisitions Incorporated within 30 days, we would return said equipment in the same condition we received it, um, plus, I don't know, 2 gold pieces. No, I don't know.
So
And the gold
Nair,
and the 2 gold
Nair,
pieces would be for you.
Nair.
Hmm.
Why are you so obsessed with the gear? I really don't think
No, I'm
it's gonna
just
do us any good if we're not official franchisees. And half the stuff is like sort of magical, and it's not gonna work if we haven't signed on yet. So
yeah, I'm just trying to make it. I'm trying to. I mean, okay, so I don't want
so
to
you
talk in front
you
of him. I'm just
right
I'm just trying to
right
work him.
I'm just asking,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
oh my god, this is taking forever.
yeah, yeah. Well,
And you can tell
he was making a
that
big deal about the gear, and so I was
well
trying
he
to,
was
you
that
know,
well that if
help
somebody
him.
were to tell you to go dig a hole and then to go fill it in and go dig another hole, right?
Hmm.
I mean
I
that
didn't
would be
want.
frustrating,
Yeah, I'm
So
trying. Yeah, I'm trying to. We're gonna have to deal with Viari
yeah.
a lot in the future. I have a feeling he seems to be the grunt. Um, and so I figure if we can make his job easier, uh, it may help us later.
So Viari
So how about this, VR? How about this? You tell them that we just come out of the whole mess at Tresender Manor, and when you first made the offer, we were like flat out, no, you've got to be kidding. We don't want any part of this.
Right.
But because you were so persistent and so charming, we've come around to see it your way, but we would still like to check with Omen and Drawn about a couple of things. And so you saved the negotiation, you saved the deal. So it'll still make you look good, but we're still gonna go to Waterdeep.
Right.
that's fine. But I can't give you the equipment. I, if
That's
I go
fine.
back to if I go back to Omen without a signed contract and no equipment, regardless of whatever
No.
document that you think we could draft that didn't get drafted by the lawyers at Acquisition Incorporated, that yeah.
My employee handbook that I got when we went to orientation that day tells me what my beginning equipment would be based on what my role is. So I'm not
Mhm.
going to join, and I'm not going to take a position if you're not going to give somebody's not going to give me the required equipment. So
I'd be
Right.
happy
I
to give
really
you the
appreciate
equipment.
you.
Just got to sign on the dotted line. That's all.
Okay.
But
All right.
No,
Well, I'm just
I'm
trying
not
to
worried
make.
about the equipment. We'll get it. I'm
yeah.
not worried about it
Yeah.
because
No.
I feel like that's part of the
I was just
process. So
I was just making him not have to traipse it back because he was bitching and complaining.
I'm not gonna- I'm sure he'll just give it to the next franchise that he goes to.
He probably
Yeah,
has a bag of holding anyway.
and he kind of if there were watches in this world, he would be looking at his watch right now and go, "Woo! Look at the time." Yeah, I'm gonna have to get to Nightstone. There's a franchise starting up there, so good talking with you guys. Hope things go well with Omen, and thanks for all your help on my performance evaluation.
Well,
Appreciate it.
we
Yeah,
will. We'll put in a good word for you.
yeah,
Is
I'm
our
sure that'll
story
be great.
straight? Because
Uh-huh.
we're not gonna go back and tell this story if you're not gonna confirm it. So are we straight on our stories?
Sure. Yeah, great, lady. That'll be fine.
Hey, well, I was doing that for you. So you know what?
And then I look at him and I say, Viari, now I know why you're still a grunt. And I go off and say, I need one of those breakfast drinks.
Kind of the same thing.
A breakfast stout.
Oh, AKA a mimosa.
Breakfast stout. It's a dark beer.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want one of those. I need it. Oh.
So you kick Viari out. When Viari finally gets everything loaded up and strapped up to his back and over his shoulder, and works his way out the door, right? Gilda comes over to your table and says, I couldn't help but overhear some of this conversation. It sounded like he was offering you guys a position with the company.
Mm-hmm.
So are you the cartographer?
Is
The
she
what
looking?
part?
Is she looking at several?
At Naird, because you're the one that responded. She just is looking for information.
Oh no, no. I am definitely not me. That would be more like my man here, Severo.
Yeah, I mean, it usually starts out being lost, but I always find my way back.
After a short 21-year hiatus.
So I guess that makes that me then.
So you're the so did he give you the spyglass?
He had suggested maybe something like that might exist, but he did not specifically hand it to
He hasn't
anything
given
more
any
than
of
a
us
bag
anything, has he?
nearby.
So I don't understand. I didn't see him give I'm confused.
Me too. Me too.
I suspect that's not so difficult for you. She doesn't say that. So you
So we're
didn't.
gonna invite Gilda to travel with us so we get to know her a little better.
Do you say that out loud?
You know what? What does she look like? Do you have a picture?
Yeah, we have a picture.
I know. I
of
can't
her.
remember.
Gwyneth leans over and whispers to Naird that she is in desperate need of a makeover.
Oh. Okay.
Well, yeah, I have a picture of her from the moment that you extracted her.
Yeah,
from under a building.
I'm trying to remember. It was like a year ago.
Yeah, now I'm trying to find it and I can't.
Oh, okay.
How am I not finding it? Hold, please.
So Vela, what position were you thinking about?
Oh, definitely the horse person.
Oh.
I find all the shinies.
Yeah, you didn't smell anything shiny in there.
You would be
It smells
absolutely
like gross.
You would be perfect for that position. Wow, awesome. This okay. And what about well, Severo is obviously, it's obvious what Severo's gonna
So I usually find my way back.
be. Yeah, well, maybe this will help you always find your way back, darling.
So she looks much better than she does.
Oh, now I remember.
Here. Yeah.
Bless her heart.
Yeah.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, she needs a makeover. Bless her heart.
She's gone and got her hair done. Bought a new set of glasses. Got her ears straightened out. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So she goes. So you guys didn't actually. You're not franchisees. You didn't take the roles. You didn't take the position.
We're considering it seriously.
Oh, I've never known anybody who's turned down Omen.
We
Huh?
haven't turned them down per se. We feel like we're in a good position to
Negotiate.
negotiate just a little bit. So
Oh, well. Huh. I don't know. He's a pretty artful negotiator himself.
So what have you heard about Acquisitions Incorporated? What's their reputation around here?
Well, there's the good and the bad. So if you need somebody to find something or save someone or rescue the princess or whatever, they're good to call. They've got a team that, and they've got franchises all over the place. And if one franchise can't get it done, they can call for help from another if they really need to. But that aspect is pretty good. But the one thing that kind of bothered me about the whole thing was, you didn't hear a whole lot from corporate. And when you did speak to corporate and sought advice or, support in an endeavor, their advice and support, it was, they really weren't looking out for you. They were looking out for the company bottom line, right? And if it was good for the company for you to go slay the dragon, then yeah, go full speed ahead, slay the dragon. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what kind of bothered me about it. But having said that, the pay was all right, and I was able to, keep food on my table, and I enjoyed the work. It's just, the whole evil overlord kind of thing is, what bothered me about it. So.
Seems like something we should talk more about.
Yeah.
And she doesn't say, she doesn't. She's being sarcastic with the evil overlord stuff, right? It was just, she just didn't feel like the company had their best interest in heart.
Well,
So
they're not a charity. So.
Right.
are you saying that the Golden Mongoose name is free for a franchise name?
As far as I know, now maybe not, because I'm sure Talantha 3 Coins is still around somewhere. And
Oh, damn.
How long
Yeah.
until you're presumed dead?
20
well,
years.
we'd have to ask legal on that one.
I'm sure that they would make sure our name was legal, and pull their little strings and probably the contract they have for the name,
I think we can do a little better than Order of the Golden Mongoose. I
You
think we
know,
can come up with something
we
better.
and we don't know what kind of reputation they have throughout.
No, and I think we need to start with a fresh. We need to start with a fresh brand. We need to establish that we're, not those other franchisees. I think we need to distance ourselves from the Mongoose brand.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking you're right. Yeah, you're good. Good advice.
That sounds very salesy. And you can see Gilda is kind of eyeing up Gwyneth, like, just putting her in this drawer in the filing cabinet, right? Yeah. And you can see she's just kind of looking around. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got you pegged. Yeah. But she does say, so how do you what's your next move? What are you going to be doing?
Are you trying to get a position here? Is this like?
Well, I am out of work. And I've successfully filled this role.
But I don't know, with what just happened.
Well, it wasn't exactly my fault. I wasn't tasked with defending the manor.
So
it did kind of happen on your watch. I would love to see your resume.
Oh, of course, my curricula vitae.
And references, and oh, you don't have any.
Oh, I have references.
All the references are dead.
All your previous employer references are gone.
Well, if you ever found Talantha, she would probably be able to put in a good word for me. And I don't know about the other members of the crew whose name I can't remember at the moment. They may still be alive as well. But I have plenty of personal references. There's Sister Garel and yeah.
Okay. Does
So
she,
Gwyneth like scoots over next to her and puts her arm around her shoulder and she said, "Honey, we like you. It's all good. You need a makeover, but we like you." And
um,
and oh my God, what were you thinking when you put on those shoes?
yeah, some things your image would have to change if you
yeah,
were employed by us.
I like how one iris is larger than the other.
Yeah, well, she just go through an explosion, I suppose.
So
I'm hoping some of the hair is grown back too.
she says I do. I mean, you did save my life, and I do owe you for that. I can't exactly work for free, but I do feel like I do owe you some service. It is
Oh.
it's only right that I
Well,
offer my service to you.
Well, I
have to
think-
work for free because the fee that we would pay to the franchise would pay for her.
no, we know that.
That
Yeah.
is actually true.
We do know that.
You wouldn't pay her directly anyway. Yeah.
So that's
Well,
one of our
why don't you just
negotiating
work for
points we'd
free?
like to talk to Omen about. Is this poor woman has been through this traumatic experience, and she did it on
Yeah,
on the
what's
clock
workers' comp? Yeah.
for ACK Inc. So maybe we can negotiate a little extra salary for her.
You know, what'd you say?
He said, "Give her some cheap therapy."
Grief
There's a
counseling.
website you can log into.
So I would just, being me, I would say, well, we're going to be leaving for a few weeks. It's going to be a month before we're back. So if in that time period you haven't found anything, we might be open for discussion.
She goes. She says that well, I can tell you that the only work around here is it's the miners and the mine. We're not talking about young people. We're talking about people that dig in the dirt. The mines have the business hasn't gone well in the last few months, and I don't know anything about mining, to be honest with you.
So Gwyneth interrupts and she asks her if Chef Gilda if we could have a moment conversation, if she would excuse us for a moment.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. She'll step back, and you can see she's kind of wringing her hands and watching you guys, not eavesdropping, but just kind of interested in how this conversation.
Well, wouldn't you be?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Gwyneth says, look, she's got experience. She's worked for ACK Inc. She needs work. Why not invite her to go with us back to Waterdeep? We can get to know her better, see what kind of a person she is, see if she's worth being our employee. We don't promise her anything, but we tell her that if things work out, that that possibly she could join us. Does she want to come with us? And then that would just actually having one more person in the party on the trip wouldn't be a bad thing. And what do y'all think? Can we just have her come with us so we can figure out what kind of character she has? I mean, if she gets up and steals stuff out of Vela's pack in the middle of the night, then we know to
Well,
take her.
Nayard would say,
Sure.
well, I am very concerned that she is the only survivor, and how do we know she didn't have something to do with this in the first place? I just think we need to be a little leery, a little cautious.
Who's got the thing that was in her mouth right now?
Oh, the shiny thing?
I wasn't going to answer the question.
Oh, Vela. Okay, so it's
Hence, hordes person.
Vela will grab it out of her pocket and hand it over.
No.
You start to do that,
no,
and
no,
she
no.
will as you're doing it. No.
Oh, keep the shiny? Okay, sorry.
Keep the shiny, and don't let anybody know you have it. I just wanted to make sure I knew where it was and that she
Does
had
she?
like.
Okay.
Does
Oh,
Gilda
that's-
know where it's where
That's a good. Well, it's a good question. She is watching this conversation, right? So,
I mean, does she originally know who has it? I mean, does she know? I can't remember.
she knows who took it out of her mouth, which I believe was Vela. Uh, but beyond that, I don't know that she knows anything. There's a chance that she saw Vela with it just 30 seconds ago, but you don't know whether she did or did not.
Okay, so that's my take. I don't know, Severo. What do you think?
Well, personally, I think she can be trusted because it's really, really, really hard to get those blast marks when you blow yourself up on purpose.
He's tried.
Vela shakes her head, agrees wholeheartedly. Yes, we can trust her.
Ronan, what do you think?
I mean, we can. I don't really feel like we should
Do you have good perception?
take on another another smoocher on our party, but
She has to carry her weight. She'll have to she'll have to take first watch every night as we're sleeping.
get it done. Okay. Perception. You want a perception?
Yeah.
I have a negative one.
Are you just trying to determine her sincerity or her trustworthiness?
Kinda.
All right, then give me insight, not perception.
Oh, okay. I haven't. Okay, let me.
Okay, I put a vote in there of who votes that we should take her with us. It's in the chat.
Is it anonymous?
Vela kind of wants to check out the mine that's in Phandalin.
Ooh.
How do you vote? Yes
That's
or
a
no?
very good point.
Only if it's a yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
Very, 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 very good point.
those are the only if you want it. Check it only if you want to.
Clicked on it and it made a
Okay.
difference.
If you don't want it, just don't click. I don't know how this works.
I think if you click it twice, it changes to X or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops. I meant to do that on the tower. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's
so
okay. I mean, you can see what you rolled. You don't perceive any deception on her part. You haven't been able to evaluate her ability to do the job, but you can tell that she is reasonably smart. You know, the kind of person that you would go, well, this guy isn't tending bar at the bar at the tavern, right? I mean, this is somebody who has at least something going for her. In answer to a whispered question, it's I am indifferent is the answer to the question. So,
Okay. Well, I think we should bring her with us. I think she would be a
well,
welcome addition because we don't really know anybody else to recruit at this point, and we at least know she has experience, and she would be sort of indebted to us because we rescued her, and she basically owes us her life, and it doesn't get any better than that for employee retention.
you always have Gorko to be your major domo.
Well, we might need him to continue to watch Trustfall Manor, or maybe she can.
is anyone else going to vote?
I vote.
Who's the actual thing in chat?
But see, I can't click it.
You can't click on the dot. Any of them?
Nope.
No.
Really?
Oh, it could be because somebody talked afterwards. Maybe. Let me look.
Who knows? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's.
How did you do that?
She just did /vote.
Okay, I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Okay.
So
And-
that's three no's and 2 yeses? No. Now there's all kinds of stuff happening.
There.
Yes. Whoa. Now there's 3 yeses. People are changing their minds. All right.
If
I
only we
didn't
had
know
a
how the thing
decision.
worked.
Yeah, if
Okay.
only we had a decisionist. Yeah. Which, with an odd number of people in the party, a decisionist could only.
His
well,
vote
it
his
matters.
vote counts his vote
Yeah,
counts twice.
yeah, but we don't have a decisionist yet. So,
Yeah.
um,
That would make it a tie if his vote counted twice. I was just
exactly.
I was
That's
just
why it sucks having an odd number of people in the party.
yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so what's happening? Somebody tell me what's happening.
I guess we're bringing her with us and we're headed back to home.
Control Skull Manor.
Don't
All
forget
right.
when we get back to Waterdeep, we got the other little girl, Rona's girlfriend,
Right.
to do something with. So
Mingy. Yeah. Well, she's already checked in with Ronan's wife, so there's no problem now.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
In theory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, are we packing up and leaving today?
Well, it doesn't have to be today. It could be tomorrow when you say it's tomorrow. So it doesn't really
Right.
matter.
It really doesn't matter. But how about this? Are we packing up and leaving next? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So.
No, wait, before we go, Naird, do you think someone should, like, accidentally run into Harbin Wester and, like, say something nice to him? Like,
Oh yeah, we could do that. Why don't you take care of that? You and don't take Severo.
okay, I will not take Severo, and I won't take Ronan because Ronan's liable to stick a knife in
Now
him.
you could take Vela.
Or a sword of sweetness. Oh, yeah, Vela likes him, right?
Yeah.
Or he likes Vela?
that
Or no,
that
he
could
doesn't know that.
that could be so.
He did.
Yeah, he actually did like.
Oh,
Severo,
did he?
yes,
Did he like Severo? That's
yeah,
right. I forgot.
Okay, Severo, come on with me. We're gonna go. Just
Okay,
take a walk
I'm not. I Now, I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have said that. I in character, I would have remembered, but out of character, I couldn't remember. And Nayard is not going because she wants to go up and dive through this contract.
Yes,
Okay.
Mary, you need to be watching. You need to be.
All right. So, and the way I think that you can remember that Severo got along with Harbin is because Harbin is a politician and Severo is a moron. So they get on just fine.
Oh, got
Right?
it.
Yeah, yeah. So
I was
there
thinking
you
it the
go.
opposite.
Don't take that the wrong way,
No offense, Ryan. Wow.
Yeah, we do need to develop our characters a little more.
Well, you're gonna have a 14-day ride going back to.
You guys know what would be phenomenal character development? Might even bond the team a little bit more.
Huh.
If somebody were to ask where the hell Severo's been.
Well,
Yeah.
I was thinking that during this 14-day trip, we would do that kind of thing.
Hey,
Maybe we could
guys,
ask him. Do we really care? I don't know.
Why are you suddenly 2 decades older? No, it's all right.
Have you noticed we really don't care?
Well, the DM hasn't given us a lot of.
At the very least.
Yeah.
One of you should have asked how I grew more facial hair overnight.
Yeah. The DM had kind of kept wanting us to move the story along, but since we've got he's saying 14 days, I think that we should have 14 days to discuss each other.
Nope.
Whatever you want.
How my feelings are hurt.
So, who is going to go visit Harbin?
Severo and Gwyneth are gonna go. We're not gonna visit. We're just gonna accidentally run into him so that we have a chance to.
Oh, right.
A chance meeting so we can say something nice to him. I'm gonna invite him back to the tavern and buy him a. Let's see, we're about lunchtime now.
Right. Yeah.
Out to.
Well, I mean, we can make this real simple because he does need to go to lunch, right? If you were to stake out the city hall place, right?
That's
I mean, he'd walk out the door. I mean, looking for lunch, right? So.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So what happens when he walks out the door?
So we're walking. We just happen to be walking by, and we're like, oh,
Right.
well, hi. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. So he'll you got his attention, and he's like he kind of turns towards you. And,
Severo checks him on the shoulder, and Gwyneth pushes up the girls a little bit, and
Right. Yeah. So yeah, he turns towards you, and he kind of you can see he kind of puts his politician face on, right? And he goes, "Oh, I can't remember. Had he met Gwyneth before?
yeah, he's met us
did.
all.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I couldn't remember. So he says, "Oh, right.
Eyes up here, buddy."
Kenneth and Servo, right? Hey, how you guys doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you, buddy. How's the world been treating you?
Just great. The polls are in. I think I've got a lead in this thing. I think by this time, in a month from now, I'll be the mayor of Phandalin, or whatever it is I said we were going to call him, if he won or whoever won the election.
Hey, have you had lunch yet?
That's where I was headed right now. I hear that.
Several and I were just talking about needing to grab a bite to eat. Why don't you come with us?
No, we weren't. We weren't
Always.
talking about that.
All right, moron, be quiet.
I don't want to lie to him.
Sorry. So he kind of eyeballs you both askance, like, okay, can't get your story straight, but I'm hungry, so he says, okay, I always like spending time with my constituents. You guys are moving to town, right?
We just might do that. We're trying to make up our mind. Maybe you could give us give us the 15-minute why we should move to Phandalin sales pitch. How about that?
Phandalin's a great town, built on the backs and sweat.
Let me stop you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go sit down with a glass of wildflower mead and some river mush and have this conversation.
Oh, that's my favorite, river mush.
I don't know what food they eat.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. So
Bliss or something.
So you walk back to the tavern. There's Naird poring over a document.
That's our friend. Hey, come join us, everybody.
Yeah, and Ronan drinking his milk, and I'm not sure if you see Vela. She might be either under a table or picking somebody's pocket or something. Who knows? She's running around somewhere. But yeah, so yeah, you come sit down at a table. Does everybody else join your friends at the table with the prospective mayor?
I normally would, but I am so entranced by this document.
Entranced. I like the word. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You have advantage on savings throw versus entrancement. Yeah. Okay. So what about Ronan? Ronan, you gonna go sit with the mayor, prospective mayor?
Why not?
All right. And Vela, have you seen what's going on?
She will try to stealthily hide under the table.
Excellent. Okay. All right. And so yeah, you sit down, and it's a standard lunch. You're free to talk about whatever you like. Yeah.
So Harbin, may I call you Harbin?
For now, sure. Yes. I'm not mayor yet. I'm not mayor yet.
So why should we want to why would we want to move here? Why would we want to be your constituent?
Phandalin's is a great town. Let me tell you, okay. Hang on to that, Vela. So, Phandalin is a great town. It is built on the sweat and the labor of good people who work the mines and dig up that which is valuable for use by the people of this town. And blah, blah, it just he's just babbling politician,
Yeah,
right?
okay, mister. You're not fooling anyone.
What? Excuse me, sir.
So slaves.
They're not slaves. When they work, they get paid. There's no
It's always been low. You just haven't heard it. It's always been low.
there's no slavery in Phandalin.
What kind of wages do these miners make? I'm just curious.
Oh, that's I'm not in the mining business myself. I'm in the running the town business. You'd have to ask what's her face at the miners exchange. I'm sorry.
You don't have any statistics on median income and all of that for your town?
Oh,
really?
that sounds like something that if we had a chamber of commerce, that would be right up their alley. No, I just generally am loud and obnoxious and run things.
Sounds a little out of touch with his with the people. Okay.
Well, he says it in a much more slick, professional politician.
So if someone came in here with a different type of industry, it would be fairly easy to attract these miners to do something else because obviously I'm getting paid a whole lot. And if that were the case, then what would happen to your town if you didn't have miners anymore?
Well, honestly, you bring up a very good point. We have had a bit of a downturn in the mining industry, and I don't know if you've been to the Sleeping Giant. There's a lot of out of work miners over there right now, and so they would probably welcome an alternative industry coming, as would any politician. Would love to have a new industry coming to town.
Okay.
I feel like I'm being quizzed, but I'm not sure why. The stew's good though.
You want to know who to vote for.
We just want to do our research, and if we want to be informed citizens, and if we decide to move here, these are just basic things that I would like to know. Like,
Well,
what's the pay scale here? What's the cost of living? Is it high? Is it low? I mean,
it has just occurred to me that while I do appreciate the hospitality you're showing with regard to the lunch here, it has just occurred to me that you folks are adventurers and you can bring trouble to a community. And I admit I played that angle up a little bit, but it is a legitimate concern.
Brony will sort of get in the most submissive pose you can, sitting in a chair at a table, and say, "I am so sorry if I offended you. I did not mean to."
Oh, I have not been offended in any way. I worry that, we want to make sure that we don't bring a certain element into the community if we can avoid it.
Let's keep it with Carbon.
Well, do I have an opportunity for you, my friend?
An opportunity, you say?
An opportunity to have the best defense in the land.
Oh. And what makes you think we need defense?
Well, just in case you're not here to protect everybody on
Look what just happened.
Trip you take.
In case you can't smell the smoke from the smoldering ruins in the middle of your town.
There's that too. The
you
biggest
mean by
building
that?
in the city just blew up the other day, so.
Yes, but it's all about those troublesome adventurers.
Well, this
I'm
thing
sorry not to talk.
knows a lot about adventurers. Person.
What about those troublesome cows?
Yeah, okay, so Jim, just out of character, I just want to say, how could they be troubling adventurers when their territory is only within 15 miles? They are not adventurers.
5 miles.
5 miles. That's not adventurers. So
you would know that if you were reading the contract.
I said out of character.
Okay, okay, that's out of character and not in conversation at all.
No, it's not. I was just letting you know that you should say that's not what's going on.
Mhm. So,
Anyway, this person's they got their own guard dog. Biggest damn dog you'd ever seen. Strong as an
So,
ox.
yeah,
Two
you're
or three
saying
oxes.
you're saying I should acquire guard dogs for my town.
In a matter of
Maybe.
speaking.
That's not a bad idea. I really like dogs, so that's cool. I was just talking about we know a person who'd be a great chief of security for your town.
Oh, well, that's different.
Ronan goes woof woof.
That's not what Ronan did, but okay.
So, well, we do need to work on implementing a constabulary here, a police force of some sort, because that is glaringly lacking in this community.
Trust me, this individual would make the knights at Waterdeep look like children.
Really,
Everybody will
I
follow
can't
the
help.
rules.
I can't help but think you're overinflating the qualifications of someone in town that I've never heard
Sometimes an offer that seems larger than life, like if we were all medium sized, this one seemed kind of large to us,
of.
happens all the time.
Mhm.
All right? I'm just saying, are you interested or not?
Well, you'd have to tell me some more information about this person.
But
Do you
you
have
haven't
contact?
asked any questions, man.
Do you have contact information? Oh wait, I gotta get back to a role that Vela did. Real quick. So Vela, you're just going for anything.
No. So Vela, her sleight of hand, I gave it advantage because she's under the table and
You're hidden. Yeah, I'm good with it. Yeah.
she's just trying to nibble on little pieces of food, like she's
Oh.
listening, poking around, like looking at the crowd under people's feet, and
Right.
every now and then her hand will reach up and like snag a piece of food.
Off of Harvin's plate or just anybody's plate?
Just anybody's.
Okay. Well, you do it quite well. Yeah.
And the bardic inspiration was for Sevro's persuasion.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know that he needs help persuading just yet. Anyway, but I mean he has it, so that's good. So
Where's this conversation going? I'm confused.
yeah. Well, I know where it's going. He knows a certain head of security that he's trying to sell. But he
Do
says, yeah, you do. He's talking about the ogre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he
I forgot
says.
about the ogre.
He says, well, you'll have to tell me about this candidate. Is it somebody that lives here in Vandalin?
Nearby.
I don't like playing 20 questions, Servo. You're going to have to give me some information here.
She lives nearby. I don't know, man. She lives nearby. She's a very intimidating individual.
Right.
Would you consider yourself a prejudiced man?
Well, I don't know of anyone that considers themselves to be prejudiced.
Are you specious?
Oh, so you're saying that perhaps this candidate is an elf?
Gods no. We would never try to do something like that. That's disgusting.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yeah.
Wow.
Just spit it out, man. Spit it out.
Tell you what. You tell me
Well, we don't
if
know.
you're
We don't
considering.
know if Harvin's going to be elected. So.
You tell
might
me
be wasting
if
your
you're
breath.
considering this a possibility, and I'll set up a person-to-person meeting.
Well, I can tell you that it could be a great platform for me to be on the whole Law and Order platform, and might get me some votes. To
Yeah.
say that I'm going to bring Law and Order to the community,
And then bring her up on stage. Yeah, absolutely. That'll totally work.
well, provided that she is as imposing as you make her sound. You know,
I
that would be for
swear
me to
my
decide.
life on it.
I'd have to get my press people to sign off on it. But yeah, that's fine.
Cool. I'll get back to you, buddy. Great lunch. And Severo just leaves. Snags a half-drunk breakfast stout off of the bar as he leaves.
Okay.
At lunch.
For lunch.
Is a
Okay,
half-drunk
when you gotta
breakfast stout.
record while our meeting. So.
Yeah. All right. Are we done harassing Harbin? Are we? Or is there more harassment going on?
The point of this exercise was to leave. The point of this exercise was to leave him with a good impression of us, so he likes us, and it will help the negotiations with Trisunder Manor. And we can't seem to make a good impression on frickin' anybody.
Funny, what?
I think you did I think you did the best you could. He is a jerk.
The best we could with what we had to work with, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, wait. That what you had to work with was me. So I'm offended.
No, she had to work with she had to work with
I
him.
was slamming Severo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I warned you about bringing Severo.
Are we headed back
He
to
used to
Waterdeep?
like him. I don't know if he does anymore. So.
Well,
Guys, I thought he liked me plenty. That went well.
oh,
I think now that the conversation is over, Severo probably did more to progress an agenda
Yeah.
than any of you did. So yeah. So are we headed to Waterdeep?
It was different. It was a different agenda than what we came to the table with. But okay.
I wasn't commenting on which agenda.
He's trying to get a orc, ogre, whatever it was, a job, but I was trying to get us.
Actually, that's secondary. Primary is to make sure that Harbin Wesker does not become mayor.
Oh, does not become mayor. Okay.
By bringing an ogre on stage in front of everybody.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Almost exclusively that thing exactly.
but
Yeah.
say yeah. If that happened, there are spells that Vela would cast.
As the townspeople run screaming to their homes.
With torches and pitchforks and.
Right.
Yeah. But in the meantime, while we're still waiting for an election to occur, are we headed to Waterdeep?
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I don't know what Vela will go with though.
What?
She kind of likes Vandalin.
Oh, you're gonna stick around here?
Yeah, I'll stick around with her then.
Oh.
I gotta make that job interview thing happen, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, hold on a minute. Wait a minute, guys. That's a. Are you gonna pre-sign this contract? And then we might have. I might not be able to negotiate the contract properly.
I think we need to stay together for this. This is important. Just saying.
Okay.
Along the way, Vela, it's okay.
There'll be shiny things.
If I may comment, I don't really care whether you split the party or not, and keep Vela and Severo and Vandalin and everybody else go back to.
Well, I was just on a logical level. If we're signing a contract.
Well, Vela will actually do the light bulb moments and take a parchment of paper just straight from Naird's book. If she has some kind of a book, she's just grab a piece of paper and start scribbling on it. And then hands it over to Severo. Severo scribbles on it.
Of course I scribble on it.
Vela will run back over to Naird, and this I hereby declare that whatever Naird and Gwyneth and Ronan have decided, henceforth Severo and Vela shall decide as well. Here are signatures. It's valid.
I drew a picture of a dolphin.
Vela will look at it. Run back over to Severo. Sign it.
So,
Oh,
so if I may interject, like I said, I don't care if you split the party up, but if you do, that means that I've got to address half of the party for like half a session, and then the other half of the party for the other half of the session.
Or
which I'm
was
fine with.
wait a
but,
minute, something
yeah.
was happening. Wasn't somebody not able to meet next time?
You guys are going to St. Louis next week, right?
Yeah, Katie and I were up next.
Oh yeah, this
next
next
time.
week.
So we can have next week with just our part of the party.
You could.
We could do that.
Yeah, you could. And you guys are back in Fandolin trying to sell it over to an asshole.
Yeah.
I dig
I mean, that'll work, yeah.
That needs to be the quote on your wall.
So that might be an excellent way to handle you guys can't play next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Split the party. Wow.
Fine, we'll play without you.
Good, because we felt so bad about how many games didn't happen over these last couple of weeks.
Well, the last one was my fault.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's a whiny baby.
We weren't really ready.
Yeah, they didn't read up on stuff, so.
All right, so it is 9:00. We'll plan for next week without the Ketzenbergs.
Oh, if we have a fight, we're
back-
screwed.
Back in Waterdeep, and we'll just run with it from there.
And if Brian and Katie can join at some odd time the following week without the rest of us, that would
Right.
be okay too.
Right, like they
Yeah,
could do,
you
they
know
could do like
what?
a Tuesday night thing with me, right? Yeah.
Or are they are you guys driving?
I was just gonna say,
Yeah,
you
we're
drive
driving.
your phone.
Well, we can
You do it
talk
in
on the
car and
phone.
do that. 'Cause you don't need the online thing. It's all gonna be like off the
Yeah,
cuff role
you
play, right?
you bring some dice with you, and
yeah.
we're good to go.
Yeah, I mean,
What a way to pass a couple hours in the car, right?
yeah, that's true. It could work. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. Jim doesn't have a job, so you know.
And you can have the Teams call on Bluetooth and
Our drive back to here it will be on Monday, and that's
Okay.
like Monday the 3rd or something.
Okay,
Okay.
that
the
works.
DM doesn't work. I think that probably works.
Yeah, and I can work my hours anytime I want to. So.
Well, Monday the 3rd is that's a week
Trisha,
and a
you're
half
not
away
gonna be
still,
there.
so
You're not,
2 weeks away.
Trisha, you're not in it.
Oh, that's right. I don't need to be
Remember?
there.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll think about it. I don't know how tired we're gonna be as we're driving, but
We'll keep you awake.
yeah.
Yeah, well, there's no reason for us to wait until 8:00 at night to have this call. We can do it at noon. So,
We can do it right when you get on the road.
yeah.
Well, that would be rather early in the morning for you guys.
What time
Yeah.
do you guys leave?
Shoot, I think like usually,
St. Louis, we gotta be on the road by 6.
yeah.
That's not way too early for Jim. If 7's fine.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking more like lunch. But yeah.
I think I hear Ryan's going to drive and Katie's going to sleep. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So lunch is what? Yeah.
I'm actually the one driving this time.
Yeah, we had decided that before because she'd gotten me a book for my birthday that I wanted to read.
Ah,
Not for
Oh,
real.
so you did an audio, but okay, okay, that makes sense. Well, still, there might be time that you guys can get together, without
Oh
the
yeah.
rest of us. So,
yeah.
Okay, so before we end the call and everything, I
Uh-huh.
want to know from Vela and Naird, not all at once, but what are y'all's weapons?
Go ahead, Vela.
So Vela doesn't really play with weapons. She has 2 daggers, one for each hand.
That doesn't really play with them though.
Well, no, Vela's more like spell support.
so you don't carry them in your hand most of the time, right? You know, like
She always does. Well, unless she has her musical instrument in her hands.
which is what a
That is
clarinet.
my weapon.
What's
Yeah,
your instrument? Clarinet.
what was the slightly big, like oboe or something? Isn't that the bigger
Yeah, I
one?
think that's what it was. Like baritone
Yeah,
or something.
like literally the size of her.
Well, that would be more like a bassoon or something. Yeah.
Bassoon,
Yeah.
that was what it was.
Yeah, yeah. And those are the oboe and bassoon both are totally obnoxious sounding instruments. So great call. Great call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Naird, what are
I
yours?
have a light crossbow and a mace.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-oh, what's he gonna do to it?
I don't know.
He has a plan.
I know what.
Don't worry about it.
I have an idea what he's doing, but I'm not going to say anything.
He's not gonna ask about Sevro's weapons?
I already got Severo. I think I remember. Don't you have 2 rapiers and like a hand crossbow
I have 1 rapier, a hand crossbow, and a whip.
and a whip? Oh,
Yep.
I thought I gave you my old rapier.
I have 2 rapiers, a hand crossbow, and a whip.
So I was thinking that a great tagline for Ronan has to be something involving like sweetness and you want 1 lump or 2 or something. I don't know. I'm just so you gotta work something in there about do you take
Way to a guy's stomach.
do you take
front?
do you take sugar with your great bodily injury or something? I don't know.
With your great bodily injury. Nice.
All right, I'm gonna sign off, guys. I will catch you guys. Happy you guys next week.
Jim, wait.
Yeah. Wait. I'm waiting.
When are we leveling up?
Well, we have it.
That is the problem with running multiple campaigns concurrently.
Were we close?
At this point, you would be leveling to level 3, except you already leveled to level 3. So,
never mind. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. So it's a bit slow for the advancement. I can do something though. Let me.
I didn't mean to get into all that. I was just, I've got a feat I get to pick coming up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what happens in 4th level. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, when you're reading about these roles in Act Inc.,
Yeah.
and it talks about you're a level 1 secretarian, let's say.
Yeah.
Do your levels start over with that, or do they correspond to the level character you are?
No, yeah. So there are
That's the problem.
There are 4 tiers of Acquisition Incorporated franchises. You'll start out as a level 1 franchise, but your character could be level 8. Doesn't matter. When you start out as a level 1 franchise.
And then you just tell us when we.
Yeah, and that levels up to a level 2 franchise, independent of your character advancement. There is some general guidance, that I don't remember what the numbers are, but if you're an 8th level character, you should probably be in a level 2 franchise, whatever, but there's no firm commitment there.
Okay,
So
okay, I just wanted, and then like this thing that Trisha scanned and sent to me has like description of the roles, and then it has like different like options for some of the things, and it looks like it says D8, and then it gives you 8 different reasons why to be a secretary and those things.
right,
So
yeah,
is
yeah,
this
yeah.
roll the pick yours, or do you
No,
just choose one?
Whichever you
those are
want.
just yeah. You can pick one. You can. Those are just examples. If you to give you some inspiration to come up with your own. You know, that's all just flavor stuff there. So.
Okay,
So
so
you
this
can
is
be
D8
creative.
and it lists 8 things, so I didn't know if I had to like roll a dice and then just take
But
whatever it gave me. Or...
they often do that kind of thing just so that if a dungeon master is quickly making something, you know, that
Okay.
they'll just roll and not give any consideration to a backstory or anything like that. You know, so.
Okay.
And one thing that you should all consider is that there are 8 roles that could be taken, but there are only 5 of you, and that's fine. There often there's only 4 of you, so it's no big deal. But the major domo of your franchise can also be a occultant or a secretarian or a documancer or whatever, right?
Okay.
So they can dual
They can
wield, so to
fulfill one of
speak.
those.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So you'll end up with 6 of these roles filled. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and really quick, Vela, what color are you?
Like a bluish purple.
My God.
Okay.
What is that?
Don't we have a picture of you?
Is that violet?
Oh,
Don't
I shall find on my phone this
Yes.
color.
Text us the picture.
Oh, and her
The one you drew. You
and
drew
her dice is the right color too.
the one that you actually picked the color of? My one
Yeah.
just used that.
Yeah.
Katie.
Katie, yeah.
Let me. So I may definitely have not finished it.
Hey, but that's a good
I
color.
may definitely have not.
So if we can have other people in the party besides us fill roles, then I think that since he's such a good counter, Gorko needs to be a cultist.
Well, no, only the major domo can fill a role. So you won't have every role filled. So.
I think that's funny.
That is not the first. I think Ryan will tell you, and Katie will tell you, that's not the first time I've used that funny little mannerism for a goblin. So yeah.
This is true.
that
Yeah.
This is not the first time he has done that thing.
Yeah.
She sent the picture.
Oh, good.
Oh, that is so cute, and it is almost kind of sort of not done.
Yes.
Almost definitely kind of sort of not done.
Oh yeah, look at that instrument. That's huge.
Why? Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, the part that's done is nice.
Thank you. It took me forever to actually draw a cartoonish thing,
You did a good job.
but I got the coloring down.
You did. I like it. You're hired. You gonna draw all of us?
Cute. She's so cute.
Oh man.
All right.
Jim,
still
should I
have-
draw? Should I draw me?
I don't care. You can draw whatever you want to draw. You need my permission to draw things?
See what you done.
All right. Again, I'm going to sign out. I
Again?
will meet with.
How
Yes.
can we miss you if you won't go away?
Yes.
I love it.
I will meet with non Katzenbergs on Thursday of next week. Adios, amigo. Do you guys want me to leave Fantasy Grounds open so you can look at the Acquisition Inc. stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Well,
might have to, if you don't have it open in the library, you might have to open it. Load it. You might have to load it. I had to just now.
Yeah, but they don't need my help for that. Okay, I'm signing off the call.
Okay.
All right, bye.
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 Bye, everybody. Bye.